Hi guys, bonjour, hola. Welcome to this Photoshop crash course. So without much ado, let's get started. So when you open up Photoshop, click on create new layer. Photoshop has default for you to choose from. So we are going to stick with the 10 by 10. On the presets, it gives you the dimension and the height. You can change it to what dimension you want. Always keep your resolution at 300. And we want to go ahead and change the background to white and hit create. We're going to start with how you bring in an image into Photoshop. You can open up your document. You can basically drag and drop it in. Now, if you want to scale it, you just have to click on your move tool, go ahead and scale it like that. Now, if you don't see your transform activation, click on Command T or Control T and it will allow you to scale your image. The next tool is what we call the Eclipse Marquee tool. So let's say that you want to just crop this portion of the subject. You can right click and say layer via copy. And if you turn off the original, this is basically what you have. Now, the next tool we have is the quick selection tool. If you use the object selection tool, you can actually make a selection around your subject like this, and Photoshop makes a selection for you. Now, the areas in between, all you have to do is make sure that you are on the subtract from selection and then just make a selection in this area. Make a selection in this area as well, zoom out, add a layer mask. Now, when you add a layer mask, it basically takes off the background for you, so it's basically hidden. Now, from here, let's say you want to bring in a new background. If I want to bring in this background, I just drag and drop and double click to accept. Click on your layer and move that layer to the top. Let's say you also want to have a gradient background. You can click on the layer below your subject, go to your adjustment and just click on gradient. Now, Photoshop brings up this dialog box and you can basically go in the dialog box, click on any background you want. I'm going to go in the purple and I'm just going to choose this purple color. Click OK, click OK. The crop tool basically allows you to either crop your image, make it smaller. Let's say we want our image this size, we can go ahead and crop it to the size that we want, double click to accept it. So another feature about the crop tool, let's say that you have this image and you want to expand the background of your subject. So what you can do is you can click on your crop tool, extend the side of the picture that you want, go up to the top menu, click on content aware, click on the check, and basically it fills that in. Now, if you want to do the same for the opposite end, you click on your image, open that up as well. Make sure you have content aware checked. Click on OK. So the next tool that I want to talk to you about is the frame tool. Draw a circle. Now go to your folder and find the image you want to bring in. And I'm just going to drag and drop this image. The picture fits within that frame. Now you can even move the picture whichever way you want. So the next tool that we have is the Eyedropper tool. So as you can see, my foreground color is white. If I want to change my foreground color, I can use my eyedropper, choose any color within my image. If I choose the pink, you notice that it changed my color to a pink. Now, if I want to type in, so this is where you pick up your type tool. Now you can go ahead and basically click anywhere and you can go ahead and type smile and you can click on your move tool, make that font bigger. Oops. So I'm just going to go into this and delete that. You can highlight your font and then you can change your dimension or you can type it in. Now you can also go ahead and change it to whatever font style that you want. So the next tool that I want to talk about is the patch tool. So let's say that we see these dots on our subject and we want to get rid of it. Make sure that you are on the layer. You can just basically make a selection of the area that you want to hide. Now this is good when you have blemishes on somebody's face or scars that you want to get rid of. So we can basically make a selection of the area that we want to replace, move it to a smooth area that you want to match it with, release, and it's done. Now we can repeat the same process. And basically it's all gone and it's clean. Now the next tool that we have is the brush tool. Now if your brush head is small, you can use your left or right bracket to make it bigger. Now I can click on my foreground color. I can use the eyedropper, choose any color I want. I can go ahead and click OK, add a new layer, and I'm going to pull this new layer to the bottom. That way I can go ahead and begin to paint. Pick up my type tool and try and locate my font, get a white color, click on the icon for the foreground and background, flip it, and it will basically apply the white. The clone stamp tool helps you to make duplicates of anything that you select. So let's say that we want to duplicate this Nike. We can hold down options, make a selection of our image, come somewhere here, and basically paint that in. And as we are painting it in, you see that it's just censoring and painting it in for us. We can make another copy, hold down your options, and maybe we want to start this one from here, and you can basically keep making duplicates. And you can see that we have multiple of the same shoe. So the next tool we have is the eraser. So you can go ahead and use your eraser to just erase portions that you don't want. Now, if you want something back, all you have to do is click on Command Z to go back. But a better way of using the eraser tool is a non-destructive way. So you want to go ahead and add a layer mask. When you add a layer mask, you want to pick up your brush tool and you want to make sure your foreground is black. Now, when you're using layer mask, black hides, white reveals. So if we want to hide just one portion of the shoe, we're going to reduce our brush head by clicking on our left and right bracket. I can go ahead and paint this, and basically that goes away. Now, if I change my mind and I want to see the shoe back, all I have to do is right click on my layer mask and say that disable layer mask, and boom, you have your entire image back. Now, the next tool is the paint bucket. So with the paint bucket, you can change your background. If I go ahead and I click on my background, and let's say I choose a purple, I click OK. Now I can go back to my background layer, click on that, and basically it changes my background for me. Now, apart from the bucket that we use to paint, you can also use the gradient tool. So if I click on the gradient tool, you notice that at the very top, it gives me a preview of the gradients that I'll be applying. So you can go ahead and click with your cursor from top to bottom, and it will basically give you that gradient that you see. Drag it from the top to bottom. So it gives me the deeper color on the top and the lighter color on the bottom. You can also drag from left to right or from one corner to the other, depending on which direction you want. Apart from this, you can also use the gradients under the adjustments. You can basically change the gradient style. We can do an angle gradient. We can do a reflective gradient. Now you can change the angle of your gradient. Now the next tool that I want to show you is the dodge and bend. So if you pick up the dodge tool and you paint over your subject on this side, you notice that it makes your subject a little bit more brighter. If we want to go ahead to brighten this side of our subject, you notice that we can easily do that. And if you click and release, you can keep going back and it will keep making it brighter. Now, if I go back and I pick the burn tool, if I put it over that, it's basically going to make it darker. Let's say that apart from typing in an horizontal, you want to type vertically. So you want to go back to your type tool, just choose vertical, and you can go ahead and type smile, but this time it's from top to bottom. Now, if you want to change your font color, you can double click on it and then it will highlight it. You can go and change your font color here, or at the top you can click on it and you can go ahead and change it to white. So if you click on your shape Let's say we pick a rectangle, we can click on the rectangle, make a rectangle around our smile. Now you notice that in your property bar, it gives you options. So if you don't see your properties, go under Windows and you see it right there. You can open it up. Now with our shape selected, let's say we want to create an outline around our text. So you want to click on the stroke and we can choose like a pink. Now you want to give it a thickness. It starts with a 1 pixel. You can increase it to 10 or you can type it in. Now we can also go ahead and change even the stroke thickness. It can be a dashed line if we want, or a solid line. Now let's say we want to add a color within our shape. So you want to click on your fill. If you see that it has a red line across, it means that it's empty. So we can go and look for a color. We need to click on the color options and we can choose whichever color we want to set it to. So I'll go ahead and click OK. You can use your hand tool to basically pan from left to right. And if you also want to rotate, you have to switch to the R and it can help you to rotate. Pick up your brush tool again and you can go ahead and do that and boom, you're set. Now when you finish and you want to rotate it back, all you have to do is just do that, hold shift back down. So basically I've added a little trim to her shirt. The next tool that I have is the magnifying glass. Now the magnifying glass helps you to zoom in and out. If you pick the zoom out, you basically zoom out. Click on the plus, you basically zoom in. If you click on fit screen, it will basically fit your document within your working space. So the next tool I want to talk to you about is the foreground and background. If I want a black and white, all I have to do is click on my foreground, background default icon and it sets it for me. Now, if I want to toggle between the black and white, I have to just click on X and it will toggle in between, or just flip my arrow, it does the same thing. If I want a totally different color than the black, I can click on the color, it will bring up the color dialog box, or I can just use my eyedropper, choose any color that I see within my working document, and it will pick up that color. If I want a yellow, I do that, click OK, and boom, you have that. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is that, let's say that you don't want 2 smileys, you just want 1. So you want to go ahead and click on the one that you don't want. Now, there's something called visibility in layers. So it allows you to turn on layers and turn them back on. So if I don't want to see the smile, all I have to do is turn off the eye and that goes completely away. Let's say that I want to have a text, but I want the text behind my subject. All I have to do is click on that layer, pull that layer beneath, and there you go. So the other cool thing I want to show you is that even when you click on your text, you can actually apply a gradient to your text. So if you go to your gradient option, you can choose any gradient and boom, it just applies that to your text. Now, let's say that we want to add a little bit of a shadow to our font. You can double click on your layer. It will bring up the layer style. You can go ahead and add a drop shadow. And you notice that you can see it in the preview that is showing you a drop shadow. Now we can change the blend mode to normal and we can increase our shadow. We can increase our spread as well as our size, or keep our size very minimal. Now we can decrease the opacity so that our shadow shows up a little bit more. You can add a stroke effect. If you do add a stroke effect, you can click on your stroke, click on the color, add the white color instead of the black if you want. Click OK, and then you can also increase the size. Click out of this and boom. Let's say that we want to change the color of the shirt that she is wearing. All you need to do is click on your layer, go to pick up the object selection tool. Now we are just going to make a selection. Click on your adjustment, add a hue and saturation. Go ahead and change that. Now when you change it, you notice that it's only changing it on the shirt. Now we see that that little piece was selected. So we can go back and make a selection of that piece, and with our brush, we want to hide it. So we can go ahead and paint that in so that that area is not selected. Now we can go back and play with the color, change it to whatever color we want. Now we can go back if we are not satisfied with the background, go back to your background, double click on it, change it up. Let's say we want something in the reds, we can go ahead and do that. Click OK. Now the last thing you want to do is, how do I save a file once I'm done? Now you need to go to File and then click on Save. You want to click on Save to Computer, wherever you want to save it. Locate the place you want to save it. You can rename it, and you want to make sure that you save it as a PSD. PSD is a working document. Go ahead and save it. Just click OK. To save file as JPEG, friends, click on Save As and then go to where you want to save it. Now you want to change the format to PNG. Go ahead and click OK. You want to make sure that your quality is at 12. If yours is at 5, take it all the way to 12. Click OK and boom, you're done. So that is a very easy way to use Photoshop if you are a beginner. Now, if you want to know more or do a more in-depth lesson on Photoshop, I do have a few courses. I do have a few tutorials that are a bit lengthy that you can also go through. So I will have those in the card as well as in the description below. Please give this video a thumbs up. Bye y'all.